Boruto 2 Blue Vortex might possibly see Shikamaru bring together another 5 Kage summit. Now, essentially the way that it would work is they're there to discuss the Shinju and what possible or what huge threat they are to the world, you know? They've already kidnapped the Kage, right? Beaten him, hurt him a lot, transformed a bunch of people into Shinjus themselves, into trees, and they have to figure out how to stop them and turn them back. And then they've also they've snuck in, or they've broken into the Hidden Leaf Village with no repercussions, nothing like that. They also have to discuss how they're going to deal with code. They also have to just make sure everybody's on the same level to understand that, like, if these Shinju come into your village, let us know. We have to figure out this is the way to handle them and how to deal with them and whatnot. And I guess basically being like, this is how you can help, or this is how you fight them, or keep your distance, stay away, like make sure they don't do anything outside of the ordinary. Basically stuff like that, just telling people what their primary targets are, what's going on. On the off chance that they don't have a 5 Kage summit, meaning none of the other Kages are brought into this whole thing, like if it isn't a global thing, if it just stays within the Hidden Leaf Village, and obviously the Hidden Sand Village, where they have the Sand Village shinobis helping out to save Gaara. But besides those two, if it doesn't branch out any further, which I feel like it will, I definitely have a feeling that it's going to be a lot more than just the Hidden Sand and the Hidden Leaf Village, you know? So it's going to spiral into a lot more if it continues down this path. There's a possibility that the feudal lords might replace Shikamaru with Konohamaru. And I only say Konohamaru because he's technically Shikamaru's aide, and Shikamaru is Naruto's aide. So you can kind of like see where my brain is going. Is that like, oh, obviously the next one in line would be Konohamaru. That, or they decide to give they decide to give Kakashi back the job, which he might not want. And speaking of that, where is he? You know what I mean? How does he fit into all of this? But it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens moving forward when it comes to like kind of the politics of going at war again with the Shinjus and facing the Otsutsukis again, because there were so many issues unresolved when Naruto got taken away. There was a lot of replacements, there was a lot of time in between that, and it just felt like there was no real satisfying conclusion, you know what I mean? And now that it's been a 3-year time jump and everything's coming back up again, they need to re-strategize and figure out, okay, what's the best path forward. And also, I think it's just going to be another example of like Shikamaru using his title as Hokage, or the standing Hokage, to kind of move the village in the direction that he wanted to go in, you know? Meaning like Boruto is helping, Kashinkoji is helping, everybody's kind of intermixed in this whole thing, and Shikamaru is a big piece of it, and he needs to be a part of it in order to strategize and help them out. You know, as the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village, he's going to be able to help them all out when it comes to that. And I just don't see how they move forward in the story without involving the other Kage or the other villages. But if they do manage to leave them out, if it doesn't become like a huge global threat anymore, or if it's just between the Hidden Leaf Village and then they just so happened to get only one person, you know, Shinki from the Hidden Sand, we'll see how that all ends up turning out this next chapter, I think, in chapter 21. But until then, I'm looking forward to what Shikamaru does, you know, especially because he's on shaky ground enough with the higher ups as it is with the village elders. He definitely doesn't have a good standing with them because he's been failing one time after another. First they caught Boruto and then they didn't kill him right away, and then now they're about to lose this other mission and they're letting the Shinju get away, and they're going to question Shikamaru time and time again for all of these repeated failures. So all I'm saying is Shikamaru's going to need a win, or he's going to need backup to help him do it. And the other villages are more than likely going to help out or be a part of the story or something else, you know. Who knows exactly. But until then, I'm getting a feeling that this mission goes sideways. Shikamaru's obviously going to be the one to blame because he set up the teams and they failed and it didn't all go according to plan. So I don't know how Shikamaru gets out of it without upsetting the village elders or everybody higher up, the feudal lords and whatnot. I don't see how he moves forward politically or as the Hokage without getting another kind of a what's it called? Kind of like a stab in the back or kind of like with another wound to walk around with. So we'll have to see how that goes. But until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah,